Welcome to another edition of the Speaking DEAC show for October 21st, 2024. We're going to kind of recap some things over the weekend. Our Demon Deacons won another game. They're number three wins, four losses. Can the Deacons make it to six and go to a bowl game? Well, there's still plenty of season left. Still some games that we can win. There's still games that can be won. So before I go into the recap, I just want to inform every single body that has a negative impact on Wake Forest to please stop it. That's not helping the football team. That's not helping anybody else. First, you want to know and wondering about Dave Clawson's future. Well, don't mind his future because Dave Clawson, as far as I know, is going to be there for a while longer. And if he's not, then he's not. But he seems to be a little happy to me. And also, there was some things that was on social media talking about that it didn't look like a team that won Saturday. Looks to me like uh, from the locker room, from scenes from the locker room and photos, and from the videos that were shown of Dave Clawson talking to the crowd, it seemed like to me that they was happy. They have a lot of heart, and they're going through some struggles because they're young on defense. And every team goes through struggles. How about North Carolina State? Pittsburgh went through them last year, but they had a good season this year. How about some of these other teams? Stanford, Cal. Uh, I could just name a few teams. And how about Florida State? They're one of the worst teams right now in the league, and they won the championship last year from the ACC. So, excuse me, uh, are you really fans of Wake Forest? And I've been a fan all my life since the day I was born, and I know this football team, and I also know coaches. And yeah, it may seem like at times that Dave Clawson speaks things that may cause you to have concerns whether he's going to stay or whether he's going to go. But whether he does or whether or not he doesn't, you need to stay positive about the football team. The football team needs you right now. So let's stop this negative talk. There's too much of this going on right now. So we need to support our deacons. And if you're not a deacon, a true deacon, then don't come to the game and stay away from the stadium and stop talking about Wake Forest. We need true deacons, like we need true team players on the football team. If you're not a true deacon on the football team, if you're not a true player on the football team, then you need to get out. We don't need any negativism. We don't need anybody that don't want to play football or don't want to come to the games and support our deacons. We need a 100% deacons on our side, supporters. So that's enough of this. So I'm through with talking about that because I don't want to say anything that you're going to regret or I'm going to regret. So let's recap it. Wake Forest struggled in the last quarter of the game. They struggled a little bit, but they won the game. They led for most of the game, and yeah, Connecticut had a chance to win the game at the end, but really shouldn't have. We really should have put up a couple of more points, so that there wouldn't have to be no controversy at the end like there was. But in any case, Wake won the game 23-20. 23-20. Wake Forest won the game, and so that's that. So now let's talk about some games that'll be played next week. Oh, let's talk about let's talk about so, let's talk about a recap. Let's talk about who won, who lost the games in the ACC. So right now we're going to leave Wake Forest and go to the Thursday, October 17th, where Virginia Tech beat Boston College 42-21. And how about Duke beating Florida State for the first time in history in Wallace Wade Stadium, 23-16. I picked Florida State. That was a kind of a stupid thing on my part. I should have known that Duke would have won that game. But anyway, that was Friday. Then we move on to Saturday, October 19th, where there was a full slate of games. Miami and took care of Louisville. It was a high scoring affair, but Miami came out on top as usual, 52-45. There's even some controversy on that, talking about the referees. Let's get over it, people. Let's get over it. When your team loses, accept it. You can't be sportsmanship. You don't even need to be participated in football or basketball or any kind of sport, cheering them on or supporting anybody. If you're gonna be a butthole about it. I mean, there ain't no sense in it. Accept the loss. Louisville, you lost. Miami won. Clemson beat Virginia, 48-31. Virginia tried to make a comeback in that game. Wasn't enough. So, Virginia fans, you're going to complain like everybody else does? Come on, go on ahead and complain like everybody else does. How about Wake Forest at UConn? We always talk about that. Wake Forest beat UConn 23-20. Notre Dame defeated Georgia Tech 31-30. That was a kind of a close game, but I think Notre Dame had it there from the beginning anyway. And how about the Wolfpack of North Carolina State? They finally won another game. They beat Cal, and I picked California to beat North Carolina State. Cal is always losing a lot of close games, and this was also a close game. 24-23, North Carolina State edged. It was a win. So Wake Forest and North Carolina State needed that one because Wake Forest beat State last week to continue to losing streak. So they needed this one. So they went to California and got the job done. Good for you, North Carolina State Wolfpack fans. Hallelujah. We got to stick together, right? And how about those SMU Mustangs? They just ran all over Stanford, 40-10. Wow. And my record was 6-2. I could have done better, right? So the total season that I had was 66-22, 75% for the season. You can count on me, except for these little stupid picks. I know. I should have won that one, but anyway, that's over with. We'll do better next time, right? If you haven't seen my picks yet, they'll come out tomorrow. I have them right here. I'm not going to give them to you, but I'll tell you who's playing though. Okay, Thursday, October the 24th, Syracuse at Pitt, 7:30 on ESPN. Then Friday, October the 25th, it'll be Louisville again at Boston College. That'll be a good one. And how about a Saturday, October 26th? There'll be 8 games played overall this week. We have 2 that's on bye. So let's get to the games that'll be playing Saturday. Georgia Tech at Virginia Tech, 12 noon on the ACC network. North Carolina at Virginia. North Carolina's looking to win again. They won a long time. Kind of have my doubts about this one. So this is at Virginia. So you kind of pretty much know where I'm going with that one. This is at 12 noon on the CW W Network. Then Wake Forest has got to go all the way to the West Coast to play Stanford. When was the last time Wake went to the West Coast? Been a long time. This is 3:30 game on the ACC Network. Oregon State is also going to California to play California. How about that? Maybe they'll meet each other. It's the Beavers. Take it on the California Golden Bears at 4 o'clock. ESPN. Then we got Florida State going to Miami. They don't even have to leave the state. Just go down the road and play Miami and come back home. Still hadn't won another game. Wow. They're going to lose another one. But this is at 7 o'clock on ESPN. That's a night game. Then we got our Mustangs of SMU from Texas. They'll be coming to North Carolina to take on the Duke Blue Devils in Wallace Way Stadium. 8 o'clock kickoff. A late nip, whatever you want to call it. ACCN. So we'll see how that goes. If you how that goes, and I'll tell you what, I want to show you a picture of how celebrated that win was, and they didn't look like a bunch of team. They didn't look like a team like they say on social media that didn't look like they won. So how about this thing? How about it here? Does that look like a locker room full of people? I mean, they look like they're celebrating. They look and they're talking to him, saying how good it was. It wasn't a pretty win. It was a 3-point win, but so what? We won, right? And they won with their heart. They have a lot of heart. That team does. And 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 don't tell me that Dave Clawson wasn't happy to get that win. He was. He was just relieved. I mean, he's been working so hard to get this team back where it was, and it's been frustrating for him and his staff. I mean, I feel for him. I feel for Dave Clawson because he don't like to lose no more than anybody else. So give him a break, man. Come on, man. Give this team a break. Give Dave Clawson and his staff a break. They worked their butts off, man, to get where they're at. In 11 years, he's never had a team that was down like he had the last couple of years. So please, guys, please, supporters of Wake Forest, please, people, give Wake Forest a break. You know, they've gone through enough. They need positive support, not negative. And their next game is against California in a couple of weeks. Be sure to get your tickets because this is going to help us get back into a bowl game. We need the one in Stanford. I think we can win it. I think we can win the next one. They'll be on bye, I think, before California comes to a Legacy Stadium. They'll need another bye to get rested up, get healed up. Because after being on the road for 2 weeks, they'll be on a bye. And a lot of other teams, they'll be on a bye. I don't have but I'll be back on later on in the week, and I'll give you some insights on some other stuff. But until then, I just want to congratulate the Demon Deacons. I want to congratulate all the winners in the ACC, all the players that worked hard. Whether you win or lose, you work, you give your hearts and you give your soul, and you work your butt off. And maybe you lose, and sometimes and then you win. And we got a lot of good teams. Everybody can't win. So, hey, I want to tell you something. It is without a doubt. It is without a doubt uh, a program of Wake Forest that is headed in the right direction. And so, whether or not Wake Forest retains Dave Clawson, or whether he decides to leave, or whether he decides to stay, I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's going through Dave Clawson's head. He seems to be happy to me. I mean, there might be some things that he's said over the last couple of weeks or so, and over that might make you think, that he's not happy at Wake Forest. But I think he is. I mean, when you're frustrated and you got a team that you can't figure out why something's going on, and you're trying to get the pieces put back together, and it's a long-ended journey. So I mean, you have to realize, man. I mean, Wake Forest football is in a rebuilding mode, a reset, and when that happens, it takes a couple of years or so for Wake Forest to get back. It's just like as if Dave Clawson was coming in for the first time, and with this new NIL stuff and all this stuff going on, I mean, just got to figure out how to work around it and get the players we need. There's a lot of players out there, and there's a lot of good players out there that we can get, that Wake Forest can get, and so we just got to be patient. So I want to say thank you to Dave Clawson for what he's done at Wake Forest. I want to thank all the staff. I want to thank all the players at Wake Forest. I want to thank Stan Cotton for his radio show that he does. Comes on there and puts on a really good show. Tim, who works behind the scenes, and all the players that come in there, and all the fans that come in to the show. I know I haven't been there in a while, and whether I come back there again anytime soon, I don't know. But I love all you guys, and I just love you all, and thank you. Uh, and I've been a deacon since the day I was born. I haven't kept up with them, but I didn't know nothing about football when I was growing up. I had to learn from my brother, and I had to learn from my dad, and I guess it was really 1979 whenever I started to get into it. But anyway, that's a long story, and maybe you can ask me about it next time you see him, next time you see me. And I'm David Lawson from the Speaking Deacon Show on October 21st, 2024. I'll see you later on in the week, hopefully, if the creek don't rise and whatever else you want to call that little saying. And God bless you. Bye bye.